Namaste students, myself Sunil Kumar from the Department of Computer Science. Today we are moving to the fourth session based on the chapter Typical Configuration of Computer System. And today's our topic is different types of memory. Memory means in that we are discussing primary memory and also with the secondary memory, then cache memory, SMPS and also with the UPS. So it's the last session of this chapter. So let us move to the topic now. Before moving to the topic, in the previous session, we mainly discussed about the different types of I/O ports. I/O means input, output ports, I/O ports and interfaces. So mainly we discussed with the serial port. What is a serial port? Whenever data is transferred bit by bit, whenever data is transferred in a bit by bit, then that is known as serial port. And after that we discussed with the parallel port. Parallel means 8 wires, or it contains 8 bit of data transferred at a time. In case of parallel port, 8 bits of data, or we can say 1 byte is transferred at a time, that is parallel port. And after that we discussed with the USB port. USB means universal serial bus. Universal serial bus, that is one more type of port, or the standard port given for data transfer. In modern days we are using this one as a standard. After that we discussed with the PS2, personal system 2 port, personal system 2. Then after that we discussed with the IDE. IDE means integrated digital electronics, integrated digital electronics. After that we started with the AGP, accelerated graphics port, accelerated graphics port. Then after that visual graphics adapter, VGA, visual graphics adapter, that is mainly used to connect the monitors. Then next type of port is, that is modem, that is for connecting telephone lines. If you want to connect the telephone lines to your system or to your laptop or anything, then we are using the modem, or modulation or demodulation, or modulator, demodulator. Next one is Ethernet port. Ethernet port means that is mainly used to connect the Ethernet cables, or we can say the LAN cable. Whenever if you want to connect your system to network, local area networks, then mainly we are making use of Ethernet port. The next one is MIDI, musical instrument digital interface, musical instrument digital interface port, that is mainly used to connect the musical devices. Musical devices are connected to system based on the port, that is known as MIDI. The next we discussed with the bus. Bus means it is a group of parallel wires, that is mainly used to transfer the data, address and the control. Data, address and control is used to transfer through the buses. The bus, if you take, there are mainly two types of buses are there. One is system bus, or it is known as internal bus, that is mainly connecting the CPU, IO device and the memory. Then next one is external bus, that is used to connect the devices externally. For example, hard disk drive, or if you can say CD drive, anything is there means we are connecting using the external bus, or it is known as also expansion buses. So we discussed with these topics in a previous session. And remember that Ethernet port is not available nowadays. Nowadays Ethernet port is not available in laptops. Instead of that we are making use of modems, or we can say that we are using the USB. Everything we can connect using the USB. By connecting the USB you can use the Ethernet, or we can connect to the local area network. Next, today's topic we are going to discuss about memory. So what is a memory? A memory, computer memory, refers to the electronic storage space for instructions and data. If you are using a computer system or digital system, if you are using, then you have to store the data. Then you have to store the data permanently inside the computer system. So computer memory refers to the electronic storing. If you want to store the data permanently inside the computer system, then that is actually known as memory. And we can store not only the data, here also possible to store the instructions. Instruction means programs. Programs also possible to store, and also with the data. Data also can be stored inside the system. Then if we take the memory, memory is mainly divided into two types, or we can two kinds of memories available. One is primary memory, or it is known as main memory. One more type is secondary memory. Memory mainly are of two types. One is primary memory and one more is secondary memory. Primary and also with the secondary memory. Next, we'll move to the primary memory. Primary memory is the main memory of the computer system. Primary memory is known as the main memory of the computer system. It stores the program data are currently needed by the CPU. When if you're going to execute some program or some software is working, to work the particular software, some data is required. Currently, for example, you are executing some programs, for that some data is required. That data is stored in a primary memory. That is the main work of primary memory. Then if you take the primary memory, it contains that are the different functions. Primary memory have the different types of functions. The first one is to contain a copy of the main software program. Mainly, it contains a copy of the software program. When one software is executing in a program in a CPU, whenever any software is executing in a CPU, then the copy of the data will be stored in primary memory. The copy of the particular software is stored in primary memory. Thus, this program is loaded into the primary memory when computer is turned on. Means when you are going to switch on the computer, at that time mainly OS is loading. Other than that, any other software if you are going to execute, means at that time it also loading that particular softwares. That is the work of main memory. The next one, temporarily store a copy of the application. Whenever if you are going to execute a particular application copy also stored temporarily in primary memory. When switch off the system, then that application will be going to store in, that will be deleted actually. The copy will be remains saved in secondary storage. Then temporarily store the data input from the keyboard. Whenever if you input any data to the computer, that data will be stored temporarily in a primary memory, and also temporarily store the result generated after processing until it transferred to output unit or output device. After executing certain programs or applications, you will get the output or you will get the result. That result will be stored as a temporary purpose. Until you get the result will be stored or displayed in memory, or we can say the result will be displayed using the output device, any output, for example monitors, or we can use any projector and all. So before displaying the output, in short time, the output will be stored in a primary memory. If you take the primary memory mainly are of two types. One is a RAM and one more is ROM. RAM means random access memory. ROM means it is a read-only memory. Primary memory mainly are of two types. One is random access memory. One more is read-only memory. Random access memory and also with the read-only memory. Random access memory means that is actually known as RAM. Then one more is read-only memory. The first one is random access memory. RAM is also called as the main memory of the computer. RAM is also called as the main memory of the computer system. RAM temporarily stores the computer operating system and application program and current data so that processor can reach them quickly. Mainly RAM stores these data. RAM stores the computer operating system. Operating system means that main software that is loaded into RAM, and also application programs. Which application if you using that application program, and if you want to execute a particular software, some data is required. That data, everything is stored in RAM. Everything is stored temporarily in RAM. Whenever power gone or whenever power is off, which data you stored in primary memory, or we can say the RAM, that will be deleted. RAM is faster memory compared to other memory. RAM is the faster memory. RAM is a volatile in nature. What is a volatile in nature? That is when the power is switched off. When you are going to switch off the power, which data you stored in a RAM, that will be get deleted. When power is off, at that time which data you stored in RAM, that will be get erased. That is in case of RAM. Next one is types of RAM. If you take the types, the RAM mainly are of two types. One is SRAM, that is known as static RAM. One more is dynamic RAM, that is DRAM. RAM mainly are of two types. One is static RAM, one more is dynamic RAM. Now first we'll move to the static RAM. Static RAM chip is usually used to in cache memory due to its high speed. Static RAM is mainly we are using in cache memories, that I will discuss later what is a cache memory. So in that case we are using the static RAM. It stores information as long the power is supply on. When power is on, until that the data will be stored in static RAM. SRAM is more expensive than the DRAM and it takes up more space. Mainly it takes the more space compared to the dynamic RAM. That is in case of static RAM. The next one is the dynamic RAM. Dynamic RAM is the most common type of memory chip. Most commonly we are using with the dynamic RAM. DRAM is cheaper and they are consume less power. If you take the dynamic RAM, that is a cheaper compared to the static RAM and consume the less power, and it uses transistor and capacitors. Mainly dynamic RAM that mainly uses the transistors and the capacitors to store the data. The next, dynamic RAM is again classified into two types mainly. If you take the dynamic RAM, that dynamic RAM again further classified into two types. One is SDRAM. SD means is not a static dynamic. SD means it is synchronous dynamic RAM. Synchronous dynamic RAM. If you use a synchronous dynamic RAM, it is synchronized to the clock speed, or we can say system clock. The system clock means that will be the signal generated by the system. It is a signal generated by the system. Based on this signal system is going to work. So that signal is SRAM or SDRAM, that is synchronous dynamic RAM, that is synchronized to the clock signal of the system. The next one is DDR RAM. DDR means the double data rate RAM. Double data rate random access memory, DDR RAM. DDR stands for double data rate. Then here it works same as SDRAM. It also works same as SDRAM, but the power data transfer is double of the SDRAM. So remember, if you take the DDR, double data rate random access memory, that working is same as SDRAM. Working of SDRAM is DDRAM is same as SDRAM, but the data transfer is double of SDRAM. Normally here DDRAM is same as SDRAM, but data transfer is double of SDRAM. Next, if you take the DDR-RAM, there are different types are there. DDR1, DDR2 and DDR3. Mainly DDR3 not nowadays, DDR4 also available. So there are different types of DDR-RAMs are available. DDR1, DDR2 and DDR3 is mainly given. Next one is primary memory. What is a next one is here read-only memory, ROM. ROM means it is read-only memory. ROM means that is a read-only memory. ROM is non-volatile in nature, or we can say ROM is a non-volatile memory. That is, information stored in it is not lost even the power supply goes off. Remember, in case of RAM, when power supply is off, at that time the data which stored in a RAM will be get deleted. But not like here. Here if you take the ROM device or ROM, read-only memory, the data stored here will be the permanent. When power supply goes off also, which data you stored in ROM, that will be permanent. So it is used to permanent storage of information. Mainly it is used to store the data permanently. Then different types of ROM are, one is ROM, programmable read-only memory, EEPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory. Last one is EEPROM. EEPROM means electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. So these are the mainly four types of ROM devices. Next we will move to the comparison. What is the difference between the RAM and ROM? RAM stands for random access memory, ROM stands for read-only memory. That already we know that RAM means random access memory, ROM means that is a read-only memory. Then main difference between the RAM and ROM is, RAM is a volatile in nature. Volatile means is a volatile memory. Volatile means when you are going to switch off the system or when your power goes off, at that time, which data you stored in that RAM device, that will be get erased. Then if you take the ROM is a non-volatile. Non-volatile means the data stored here is permanent. When you switch off the system, also the data, which data you stored in ROM, that will be stored permanently. The next one is RAM requires flow of electricity to certain data. If you want to keep the data, then if you want to retain the data in RAM, always power supply is required. But in case of ROM, it will retain the data without flow of electricity. Electricity is not there also, it will store the data permanently. Mainly because RAM uses a semiconductor devices. RAM uses semiconductor device. If we use the ROM, that will use in the any magnetic material. Some other magnetic materials are used. Then if we take the RAM mainly are of two types here. One is SRAM, DRAM. Static RAM and also with the dynamic RAM. Then if you take the ROM mainly here two types is given. One is a PROM and EPROM. One more type is also there, that is electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, EEPROM. So these are the difference between the RAM and ROM. Next one is secondary memory. Next type of memory. So memory is mainly divided into two types. One is primary memory and one more is secondary memory. The secondary memory is used as auxiliary memory. It is mainly used as auxiliary, or we can say the backup memory. Thus, secondary memory is used for bulk storage or mass storage of programs, data and other information. If you want to store the data, bulk data, whenever if you want to store the different movies or if you want to store any textbook, whatever it is in a form of PDFs. So in that case, we are mainly making use of secondary storage, mainly used for bulk storage or mass storage of program, data and other informations. It has larger capacity than the main memory. Take the secondary memory, that has the larger capacity than the primary memory. The secondary memory retains information once stored only. When you store particular data on the secondary memory, that will be permanent. When power goes off also, which data you stored in secondary storage, that will be permanent, or we can say that is non-volatile. Secondary memory is non-volatile. The magnetic memory such as hard disk drive, HDD, compact disk, pen drive, then memory cards is most commonly used secondary storage in a computer. For example, if you take the example, if you want, means that we can use hard disk. Hard disk is the example. Then after that, compact disk. Compact disk is one more example. After that, pen drive. Pen drive means USB. Then memory cards, SD cards, secure disk cards are the most commonly used secondary storage devices. These are the about secondary storage. Next, here is the comparison between primary memory and also with the secondary memory. Primary memory is semiconductor memory. Already told, primary RAM and ROM will be there. That is a semiconductor memory. Primary memory, that is a semiconductor memory. Secondary memory, that is magnetic or optical memory. Here in secondary memory, we are mainly making use of magnetic or optical material. And if you compare the cost of the primary and secondary, primary will be the most expensive. It is expensive memory compared to the secondary storage. Secondary storage is less expensive compared to the primary memory. Then primary memory is a main memory of the computer system. Primary memory is a main memory of the computer system, but secondary storage, that is known as auxiliary memory, or we can say it's a backup memory, extra memory. If you want that, we can use as a secondary storage. And access speed, if you compare, access speed of the primary memory is faster and secondary memory is slower. Access speed of primary memory will be the faster and access speed of secondary storage will be the slower. Then primary memory, example, you can give the RAM and ROM. RAM, random access memory. ROM means read-only memory. These are the example for primary memory. And secondary memory example is HDD, hard disk drive, pen drive, then SD card. Like these are the example for secondary storage. Next type of memory, that is known as cache memory. CACHE, cache memory. The cache memory is a very high speed memory placed between the CPU and the RAM. Remember, it is a high speed memory compared to the other memory devices. Other memory devices, it is a high speed memory and it is placed between CPU and the RAM. Cache memory stores the data that is used for temporarily. We can say cache memory is also temporary memory. Cache memory is also temporary memory. That is, makes the availability of the data easier to the CPU. So mainly if you take the cache memory, that is present between the CPU and the RAM. In between it will be there. So we can access the data faster. Hence it used to increase the speed of processing. Mainly if we use the cache memory, that will increase the speed of program execution. Program execution speed will be increased or it will be boosted. Cache memory is very expensive, so that is a smaller in size. Normally if you take the cache memory, that is very expensive compared to other memories. If you take the RAM or if you take the secondary memory, cache memory is very expensive and it is a smaller in size compared to RAM. RAM will be there in 2 GB, 4 GB and all. Nowadays we are using 8 GB, 16 GB. But if you take the cache memory, that will be maximum 1 GB or 2 GB. Then cache memory sizes 256 KB to 2 MB. That is a normal size of the cache memory, and it is categorized into different levels. If you take the cache memory is categorized into different levels. Here, if you take the cache memory is mainly 3 types are there. One is level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is also known as internal cache memory. Level 1 is known as internal cache memory. Level 2 and level 3 both are known as external cache memory. Remember, cache memory mainly are of 2 types. One is internal and external, that is I not explained here. Level 1 is known as internal cache memory. Level 2 and level 3, that is known as external cache memory. Mainly 3 levels are there, but level 2, level 3 is compared, it is outside to the CPU, so that is external cache memories. First we will move to the level 1. It is extremely fast but relatively small and usually present inside the CPU. So it is extremely fast compared to other cache memories. Level 1 cache is relatively small. Compared to other, it is the smallest memory and usually present inside the CPU. Mainly it is present inside the CPU. The size of L1 cache varies 32 KB to 512 KB. Only kilobytes. Size of the L1 cache is only in a KBs. That is mainly present inside the CPU. Next one is level 2 or L2 cache. It may be located outside the CPU or separate chip or high speed system bus interconnecting the cache and CPU. Mainly if you take the level 2, that is present outside the CPU. That is present outside the CPU. We are using the separate chip. And this is connecting CPU and RAM by using the high speed system bus. Mainly we are using the high speed system bus is used to connect the cache memory and the CPU. The size of L2 is 1 MB to 2 MB. Normally we will use, that is in KBs, but here it is a 1 MB to 2 MB. The next one is level 3, L3 cache. It is typically specialized memory that works improve the performance of L1 and L2. It is mainly used to improve the performance of L1 and L2, and it is slower than L1 and L2, but it is usually double speed of RAM. If you take the RAM, it is L3 is double speed of RAM. L3 has double speed of RAM, and compared to L2 and L1, it will be less. That is mainly increased, it is to increase the speed of L1 and L1 and L2. Then here is a figure, you can see the cache memory where it is present. So secondary storage is outside the CPU, it is the last one, and CPU means that is a processor. Inside the processor we can see the L1 cache. L1 cache is known as internal cache, that is present inside the CPU. Next we can see after that we can see L2 cache or L3 cache, that is present outside the CPU. The next we can see the main memory. Main memory means RAM, random access memory, or RAM. RAM is main. So if you take the cache memory, that is present between the cache memory is present mainly between the primary memory and the CPU. The next topic here is switched mode power supply or switch mode power supply. SMPS, it is known as switch mode power supply. SMPS stands for switch mode power supply. An SMPS converts AC power from an electrical outlet to a DC power. For example, if you take the SMPS, that is the main work of SMPS is to convert AC power or electric AC signal into a DC power, because the system needs only the DC power to work. So it is converting the AC to DC and based on the system requirement. Remember, that is based on the system requirements, because each component is not required the same voltage. If take any components in a computer system, each component does not require the same voltage, different voltage is required. So it will convert the AC to DC for the different components, because based on the need. SMPS contains the power cord plug and fan, and that is for cooling purpose, and jet, because whenever if you use SMPS, that is mainly produces heat will be produced. To reduce that one, it contains a fan and the power plug. One power plug will be there, that is used to connect the external AC supply. External AC supply can be connected by using the plug, and also if the fan is required, fan will be there, that is to reduce the heat of the SMPS. Then next one is UPS. UPS means uninterruptible power supply. Uninterruptible power supply, that is UPS. And UPS is a power supply that includes the battery, that is mainly to maintain the power in the even when power is failure. When power is not there, suddenly power goes off or power failure is there, means at that time system should not shut down, system should not off. You have to retain the system for some time. For that purpose, we are mainly using one battery. That battery is actually known as UPS, uninterruptible power supply. And UPS keeps a computer running for several minutes for few hours after a power failure. Whenever power failure is there, means UPS will keep the computer running. It will continuously supplying the power after power goes off also for several minutes, or we can say half an hour or 1 hour, or sometimes 4 hours also. That is possible in case of UPS. There are two types of UPS are available. One is online UPS, one more is offline UPS. UPS mainly are of two types. One is offline and one more is online. Now first one here, offline UPS, also known as standby UPS. Offline UPS is also known as standby UPS. Offline UPS monitors the power line and switches to battery power as soon as it detects the problem. Whenever, always is monitoring the offline UPS, always monitoring the switch or power line. Whenever power goes off, at that time it is switches from power to battery whenever power failure is there. That is offline. The next one is online UPS. The online UPS continuously provides supply from the inverter, like inverter it is. Whenever if you use the online UPS, always supplying the power from the battery. Not in case of offline, it is not supplying always from battery. When power is there, directly AC will take. Whenever power gone off, at that time it will supply the power from the battery. Online UPS is more costly than the offline UPS. Online UPS is more costly than the offline UPS. These are the different types of UPS. So by here we reach the end of session today. In this session we mainly discussed about the UPS. Last topic we discussed about UPS, and after that and before that, before that we mainly discussed about the different memory devices. Memory means mainly are of two types. One is a primary and secondary memory. And primary memory, RAM and ROM, and secondary memory, there are different types of secondary memory. And also we started with the cache memories. Cache memory L1, L2, L3. There are three levels of cache memory is available. After that SMPS, and finally we reach with the UPS, online UPS, and also with the offline UPS. So by here I'll wind up my today's session. Based on this one, I'll give the worksheet, work out that one, and it is the last topic of typical configuration of computer system. So we'll meet you in next session. Thank you.